Welcome back to the Making the Brand podcast. I bonded with today's guest over a shared love of pop culture and marketing. And I think it's weirdly funny how similar we are. I've really started to notice that. And I'm so looking forward to this conversation. So, everyone, please join me in welcoming Guillermo Flores to the show. Hi.
Hey everyone, how's it going? Hello from Chicago.
Chicago. Yes. Thank you for joining. And like I said, I feel like I don't know, the Twitterverse, all of these things brought us together because I feel like we're the same person sometimes.
It's literally like cosmic energy and I'm so here
Yeah.
for it. It was like I think New Year's Eve day going into like 2023 when it's very quiet, and
Yeah.
it's the holidays and you don't know what day it is. And I
Yeah.
found you maybe on LinkedIn or Twitter, or I'm not even sure what it was, but I saw that fluffy, clueless pen and I said, let me go and see what's going on here. And I just dove into all of everything you're doing.
Oh, well, now you're part of what I'm doing. I'm so happy to have you here. And this is going to be such a fun episode. One thing that we've bonded over also is a shared love of Britney Spears, of course, the
Of
queen.
course, that's everyone.
It's everyone. It's a prerequisite to be on this show, actually, is to love Britney Spears. So you've passed the test. But we know Britney as, oh my gosh, the Piece of Me show.
My
I love a
my
little bit.
biggest piece of me cup. Oh my gosh. This I like in the stands. I took extra cups that from people left it. I'm crazy.
So smart. I love that. I love that. I miss her Vegas residency, but um also she's done the residency, but we know Britney as the queen of the VMAs. In fact, every time the VMAs roll around, like MTV is always promoting it using Britney in some way. Like I feel like it's their default. It's just put Britney out there because that's what's going to get people to listen and pay attention to the VMAs. But now the VMAs also had you because you went to the show and you made a ton of great content about it. Britney would be so proud. So I have to hear this story about how all of this went down. Start from the beginning.
Yes. So, oh my gosh, the VMAs have always been like the award show for me. I would have VMA parties starting in like elementary school, middle school, high school, where like a small group of my friends, we would go have dinner at the local diner in Villa Park, Illinois, Simon's, and then we would go to like my parents' house, watch the VMAs. And that was such a time when there were still secrets and you don't know what was going to happen. Like
Yeah.
the Madonna, Britney, Christina performance. Yes, people know it as the kiss. Got it. For me, it was so much more than that because it was Britney and Christina on stage together with Madonna, and then Missy came out, but you didn't know any of that. Now all the secrets are revealed beforehand. So the VMAs have been a part of my fabric. It's been the logos, the design, the they used to have a different logo for the award show every single year. And then within the last like maybe 5 years, it's the same logo. But I'm
Mhm.
like, I will be at the VMAs one day. And I registered through One Iota, which is a site where they fill up the spaces for movie premieres, award shows, special events, and it's free for fans. And I said, you know what? It's July 2024. I'm going to just register. Whatever happens, happens. I'm not expecting anything. I'm like, am I out of that demographic? I don't really believe in demographics. I think we talk way too much about like generations and stuff. I get it, but I think we have much more in common than we'd like to believe.
Mhm.
But yeah, I got that email. I literally the Saturday before the VMAs, which were on a Wednesday this year, and I said, I'm doing it. I'm booking a flight. I was in the pit. Like
Wow.
literally, it was one of the most amazing moments of my life. I had to like, get my flight super last minute. It was like I was on the flight when I finally got the confirmation. I'm so excited that it's happening.
Yeah.
That's when Chapel Roan's Rolling Stone cover came out. I'm reading that on the plane, going to New York City, just so happy, tears coming down my face. Like literally, it was so amazing.
Yeah.
Got to the VMAs and I got through that process of just enjoying the show for the first time being in the pit at the VMAs.
The pit is the best experience. I didn't know I needed the pit in my life until I saw J-Lo's residency. And it was also on like a Wednesday. Like it was a weird night, but I was there on a work trip and I was like, I'm going to see J-Lo while I'm here. And I don't know, maybe it wasn't sold out or whatever, but the ticket agent, she's like, do you guys want to go in the pit? I'm like, sure. And ever since then, like I am just such a pit girl. Like every chance I can. The pit is the best.
Literally, absolutely. You wear your comfortable shoes, you hydrate
Yeah.
beforehand, you go to the bathroom beforehand. I have a clear mind. I need to be in the pit. Like I'm
Yeah.
going to Taylor's, I'm going to the Eras tour next week. I'm
Stop.
yeah, an indie night three. Like I'm not VIP, but I got a VIP box from someone just because they had extra merch. I'm like, I'm taking it. But I'm
Oh,
gonna be in like the 600s for night three. But at the
yeah.
VMAs, I literally got to shake hands with Taylor after she won Video of the Year for
What?
Fortnite.
That is the coolest. Oh my god, I'm so jealous. I need to check out this website, this IOTA website you speak of, because it's gonna change my life.
It literally will, and it's all free experiences because you need to
Yeah.
fill the stands, you need to fill the events or whatever that might look like, and I
Mhm.
will book that flight and get there.
Well, with the VMAs this year too, didn't they change the date at the last minute because there was a debate? Did that
Yeah, they
mess you
changed.
up at all?
Um, honestly, I'm used to the VMAs being like a Sunday, you know. But then when
Yeah.
I was in high school, like in the like 2000s, it was any day of the week also. But it was kind of just a last minute, and it was on September 11th as well because the original date was the 10th. They moved it to the
Yeah.
11th. So being in New York City during that time was honestly also very, very beautiful and just
Mhm.
like reflective.
Yeah, and I love when Taylor won one of her awards that night. She basically said that honoring this day is the most important thing, and everything else that's happening tonight comes after that. I thought that was a really touching moment, but that is awesome. So you gotta love content. I know you made a whole little mashup after the show, and also you told me that Megan the Stallion shared your Instagram handle.
Yeah. So during the commercial breaks, that is the most fun part of an award show. And being at these events, they put your phone like in a locked bag so you don't even have it, which is like
Mhm.
cool because the celebrities kind of just do their own thing. I'm in the pit right in front of they're right in front of me. And Megan is getting ready to go on camera and she has her photographer and everyone's hyping her, we're hyping her up in the crowd. Let's get it. And then there's about to go on camera, there's a split second where it's quiet. And I just go, Megan, tag me, and she turns around, she goes, "What's your at?" And I go, "At Guillermo XF." She said, "What is it?" I said, "Guillermo XF." She said, "XF, Guillermo XF, period." And everyone just goes crazy. And it's literally on my Instagram because they caught that moment.
That is the best. Did your follower count go up?
It did, but I really just wanted Megan to follow or acknowledge me. That's okay. I'm literally in the background of some of her photos.
Yeah.
We'll DM later.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, she'll have to follow you back. You guys will have to, connect and send some DMs. That is so cool. So man, you are just proof that content and putting yourself out there and, just shooting your shot in different ways can really unlock a lot of opportunities and make dreams come true, like going to the VMAs. That's a dream come true, in my opinion. So what would you say to someone who is hesitant to create content or maybe might not think that something as cool could happen to them? Like they don't see that finish line or that opportunity that could come their way.
Yeah, I think people are scared to look silly on camera,
Mhm.
and I feel like the pandemic kinda helped out with that, but at the same time, like, people still are more reserved, but I feel
Mhm.
like if you have a goal and you wanna connect with different people, content is such a cool way to do that because I get inspired by so many different creators, and the moment that I said and this is only kind of this year where I'm like, "I don't really care what people think. I don't care if this gets views. I don't care if my follower count goes up. I'm making content for me that makes me smile because I'm a creative person and I have so much going up here that I need to make sure I need to get it out there.
Yeah.
And what's the worst that could happen? It's got me to the VMAs. It's got me to, the pit at so many different kinds of events. And I just know what my content pillars are and I'm just thriving in them.
Mhm. I think that's such a good point. Something I like to emphasize also is that when you're creating content, yes, when you're creating on behalf of a brand, it's all about your audience and knowing what your audience wants. But when you're a creator as an individual, it's about creating for yourself first. It's about liking what you do, making sure you're passionate about it, that you want to share and create these things because it becomes your outlet. And if you're not enjoying it, then your audience won't either. But first and foremost, it should be something that you're having fun doing. So I think you embody that. That's really great.
I completely agree. I'm like, that is me all day. Like
Yeah.
the good, the bad, the unfiltered. I'm here for it.
Yeah. So you spoke to content creation as an individual and as a creator, but I know you have a marketing background as well. What about brands and entrepreneurs? What can content creation do for a small business?
Oh gosh, small businesses, you can just play because you don't have a million different barriers for you. I think that's how we have seen so many different small businesses just explode because they're trying out funny things or doing different aspects of it. I feel like there's been so many of like the stop and go really fast action trends from like Latin American countries that
Mhm.
show up now from their businesses. It's like they're getting hit by a bus and then it's like, try our new tacos. And it's just, but it's, it's in Spanish and it's so funny. But I
Yeah.
feel like small brands and entrepreneurs, you can just do so much more because you don't have all the red tape. And a lot of times, small businesses and entrepreneurs think, I can't do this because I don't have a budget. And I
Mhm.
go, I can actually do more because I have no budget and I have to think on my feet.
Mhm. We are the same person because that's what I was gonna say. There's no corporate red tape. You kinda have this creative liberty and you can have fun with it, and I totally agree. You don't need a big budget to be creative. You just need to, get a little inventive, have fun with it, and you don't need fancy equipment or, a studio to do anything like that. And one thing I love is seeing small businesses and kind of industries that maybe don't get as much love as they should. Like there's people
Right.
on TikTok that they pressure clean rugs. Have you seen those people?
Yes. Oh my gosh. I love it's so calming.
Yeah. Any of the cleaning videos, Clean Talk, or just all of these other industries that are having fun with it and just making content because they see what it can do for them is really fun to watch. So that is great. And really, content is how you build relationships at scale, whether you're a small business. Every small business eventually can become a big business. So you got to start putting yourself out there. But let's get a little bit tactical here. So if someone is new to content creation, how should they get over that hurdle to start? Is it kind of a mindset shift? Is there something they should do just with the equipment that they have? Like, what is step one?
Step one is getting over the ick and getting over your ego. Like, I run with this, and I've been saying that I work with college students around the country, and I always will start conversations with, I'm. You might all think that you're cooler than me, but no one in this room is cooler than me. So just like you'll be fine. Let's get over that. That causes a laugh. That causes them to like be like, okay, like we can kind of chill in this space. And number one has to be you have to get over your ego because you have something great that's a part of you. So if you want to share it, why not do it? And then step number two, I'm going to take you to my creativity notebook. So it is going to take pen and paper, and I love writing utensils. I love different kinds of writing utensils. I just get my ideas out there because I
Mhm.
spend so much time on the screen that I need to have pen and paper in front of me so I can actually create and just write down ideas. And
Yeah.
that helps me kind of just visualize what I want to put out there. And then I just start making content because everyone always asks me, what equipment do you use? What does this look like? I say I use my iPhone, which has the camera, and then lighting, I look at the sun. So it gives me more natural lighting. And they're like, what? I'm like, yeah.
The
And like
original
I
ring
use
light, the
the
sun.
original ring light, the sun. Like if have you heard of it? Yeah, it's literally what helps me out and makes it more engaging in my opinion. And that's just been
Yeah.
my style. My style has been
Yeah.
no budget.
Mhm. Yeah, and I hope a lot of other people will adopt that. I think you just helped a lot of small businesses listening because you might not have a huge budget to dedicate to this, but you don't need it. You just need just step outside. The ring light awaits you. Um, but I love that you set the tone with students and saying like you're not cooler than me because I was listening to something the other day about how like some of the most successful people in the world were never considered cool. Like they just always started off being kind of like the weird or awkward kid, but they were building something and people thought it was odd, or they were the shy kid that people didn't talk to. But it's always those kids that aren't concerned about being cool that end up being successful. So it's interesting that you work with students because I think that's a great message to send in college.
And I think it's so powerful because I'll definitely toot my own horn a couple of times. I'm a two-time homecoming king from high school and college. We love that, but I always had to like struggle and have that grit and just fight as a little kid because I'm a first generation American. I didn't know how to navigate any of this system. And I feel like me and just in my existence is a win because I'm putting myself out there and I'm just like not going to apologize for it anymore. I
Mhm.
spent so much time not being myself that I can't go back. Now you're
Yeah.
just getting all of it. And if I can help young people, if I can help any age of people kind of see who they really are and just like be happy with it, I never thought I would say that in my whole life. And now I get to.
Yeah. I can relate to that. I absolutely love that so much because I remember when I first started creating content, I was like, okay, on this account, I'm going to be a marketer. And on this account, I'm going to be a Backstreet Boys fangirl. And I'm going to completely separate all these things. I'm like, what am I doing? Like, I am not being real on any of these things. Like, let's just throw caution to the wind, combine all of it together. This is me, subscribe or not, but this is what I want to make. And I don't want to feel so disjointed all the time. So I
Oh
think that
my gosh. I can't agree more. I feel like I was hiding parts of myself in different spaces that I was in and accounts that I was running, whether
Mhm.
that be for my personal or for my own personal side brand. And it's like this is exhausting. I have no choice but to be myself. So here it is.
Yeah. And we love it. We subscribe. Everyone go follow Guillermo. You know his handle now, thanks to Megan the Stallion. So
Literally.
yeah. And I will also link it in the description. So everyone go follow you. But okay, so you work with students, and I know you also are a big believer in mentorship, which I think is amazing. I don't think we talk about mentorship enough because it's rough out there. And I think all of us should be collaborating more and just being more open about helping each other about what we need and asking questions and really having those lines of communication open. So, why are you such a big believer in mentorship? What has it done for you and why do you love it?
Oh, it's helped shape who I am, especially I go back to my kindergarten teachers and first grade teachers and all these people that were believing in me as a kid in the 90s. Growing up, my parents came from Mexico, and I learned English by watching MTV and the Power Rangers. I didn't know I was learning two languages. I always had all these mentors who just like really believed in me. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. They're always super helpful. And then it's not until you're older, it's like, oh, they were putting me in places that they wanted me to be, or they believed in me to do something here or there. And they wanted me to thrive and grow. Mentorship has been something that has been so impactful because it keeps me going. And now I get to do that for other people as well. And I don't think we talk about it enough. It's been really hard launching my fraternity social media brand because one, I didn't even know it was going to be anything at all. I was just bored during the pandemic, but it's been really hard to have people like kind of help me out. Like no one was really reaching out. So I'm like, I've got to start reaching out, and I'm still looking for mentors. I'm still looking to learn, and it's been amazing.
And it's great that you're reaching out because we get to a point where we have to take matters into our own hands. We sometimes think if we make content, if we put ourselves out there that our DMs are going to be overflowing with messages, but you have to be proactive also. So I love that you're doing that, and I agree. We don't talk about it as much as we should. I saw the other day it was actually National Coaches Day, and I didn't hear about it until the end of the day. I was like, man, I wish I did a post dedicated to
Yeah.
a coach I had in high school. I was like, how did I go the whole day and not see anyone talking about a coach that had a major impact on them? And it traces back to high school and our younger days. There are so many influential figures that deserve their flowers.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know that was a day. So now you're teaching me that piece of it. I know January is National Mentoring Month, Mentorship Month.
Oh,
So that's something where I really like focus on thanking the people either in my personal life or the brands that I work with to be like, hey, give a thank you because you got here because of someone else, and that's a beautiful thing.
yeah. And I know you're a big believer in this as well. Send handwritten notes. They'll make someone's
Yes.
day. Yeah, I
Gosh,
was
it's like,
lucky.
do we remember what our handwriting looks like? It's so beautiful. And it's like I said, I need that pen and paper.
Mhm. And it makes such a great keepsake for the mentor, the person that you're writing it for to thank them. So I hope this inspires someone listening to give a shout out to a mentorship or an influential figure in your life. And that's great that January is National Mentorship Month. I will be brainstorming content for that as well. And I am so happy to be subscribed to what you're doing. So speaking of mentorship though, how should people go about finding a mentor, like and breaking that ice and really just finding someone that would be willing to mentor them?
Yeah, I love that piece because you've got to look at what your goals are, who are people that are doing things that you want to do or that you get inspired by. And we can't just think that mentors are older than us. I have mentors who are younger than me, and they are from different generations. And they give me so many more different ways to look at the world. I have my cousin who is in Mexico, who is a dentist, who has started his own branch and has just been doing huge things. And he inspires me so much. Every time I'm in Mexico, we talk and we collaborate and we just help each other out because he's like, I have no idea what to do with marketing or social media. And then we talk business and we just help each other out. But it's as simple as a LinkedIn message. I don't think we message each other on LinkedIn enough, to be honest. I don't think we hype each other up on LinkedIn as well. I think if you're a marketer, you may understand that. But if you're not in that field or understand social media communication, you might not be doing that as much. So I think that's a big push for people who aren't in those spaces, and maybe you're in a different industry. It's like, oh, let me send a DM, let me drop a comment when someone does something really cool. Don't just tell them in person. Also tell them on their social media content.
Yeah. And again, that's another keepsake that people can cherish. I've started keeping a like a nice things folder where people have said nice things, and it's really great to refer back to that in those moments of imposter syndrome. Just have a little screenshot of a nice message that someone sent, and we all have them, but collecting them can be really powerful. So,
Oh, it's a double click away, and it's just so fun to go at it when you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so over this like Wednesday afternoon. When is
yeah,
it the weekend? No, let me go take a breather, get my natural ring light, which is the sun, and then read
yeah.
the comments in my folder.
All the endorphins, all the serotonin, all the dopamine, all the things. And I think you bring up a really great point too about age and not being afraid to have mentors that are younger than you. Because I think we need to also throw out the rules about hierarchy in the workplace to an extent. Like, I don't know. We think that because we rank higher than someone, that people younger than us can't have great ideas or that we're always going to overrule them. But people that are probably more experienced than you also have a great perspective. You know, we can't dismiss their ideas just because they may be inexperienced. That inexperience can give them a different perspective that is worth listening to. So I think that's really great advice.
Yeah, it's that age piece. It's like I feel like I said, we put too many ideas of, oh gosh, you're Gen Z, I'm Gen blah 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 this, and I get it. Some of the people that I admire their work are currently in undergrad running great social media accounts for their fraternities.
Yeah.
And every time I love this because anytime I say when I get to meet them in person or send them a voice note through social media, I'm like, I'm such a big fan of you. How do you do what you do? Like, keep it
Yeah.
up. They're like, what? You're a fan of me? Like, really? I'm like, yeah, you're doing incredible work and putting yourself out there. I just went to Loyola University. I worked with one of the fraternity chapters up there because I love some of their work. And I have some behind the scenes coming up. They do mini mic moments before their fraternity chapter meeting. So I went to go
Mhm.
see how he films it. And he was just so proud and excited because he didn't know what good work he was doing. Just to
Yeah.
have someone else tell that. I'm just like, hey, dude, keep that up. But I went
Yeah.
there to go learn from him.
Yeah. And it's so genuine. Like, why is it so hard for us to just tell someone that we like their work? Like, that's one thing I don't like about the like button is that it's just such a passive way of just, giving people kudos. Like, we should be forced to comment and tell people exactly why we
Yes.
like something or shoot them a message. It's just all too passive. So I think you're a great inspiration of really cool things that can happen if you're vocal about it. So thank you for that. But speaking of fraternities and your background, I want to get into it some more. You have a background in campus life and Greek life, and I think that's just the coolest thing. So I'm curious though, what has working in Greek life taught you about community? Because I'm sure there's so many lessons there, just trying to bring people together and creating a brotherhood and
Yeah.
just sound off on it. I'm sure you have some
No,
good stuff.
oh, sound off. You gotta make sure. Let me know when I'm on pause. What does that look like? Because one, I never thought this was a job. Like I had mentors who were running fraternity and sorority communities. I went to Southern Illinois University, joined Phi Kappa Tau. One of my still big mentors was in charge of our community, and I'm just like, he's like, "Oh, are you gonna do this for work?" And I'm like, "Is this a job?" And he's like, "What do you think I'm doing?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, sorry." And that's where it went. It's community, your brotherhood, your sisterhood. the organization that you're a part of, it's these long life connections. And I'm such a big believer of young men finding a space where they can be themselves, where they can have these friendships. You look at the numbers, you look at the data, men don't have as many friends. And that breaks my heart because I think mental well-being is a big issue for men, and fraternities help break that down, even if they don't think we are. Like, to know my boys now are having kids and like they're succeeding in their lives, and we talk like still almost every single day. That's something that's really beautiful to me because we're always going to have each other's back. And that community support is just incredible. It's a network that you're joining. A lot of times, young men like to just play video games, or they're not putting themselves out there. And I really push them to be more in that space because I think it can be really lonely being in your head all the time.
Hmm. Yeah. So do me a favor, just tell us exactly what your role is in social media and Greek life.
Yes. So during my day job, I'm a remote worker. I work for a national fraternity that's based out of Richmond, Virginia, part of their marketing communications team. I'm the digital media director for Sigma Phi Epsilon fraternity, also known as SIGEP. So I run their social media strategy and work with a lot of different initiatives. And also, at my after job, because I feel like I'm doing two things, I run fraternity social media, which is a Instagram account and a brand that's continuously growing because I was bored in the pandemic. I made a bunch of, you can go look at the page. I was like, everyone thinks fraternities are just the worst thing in the world. And I just know that that's not accurate. Do we own our stuff that we need to be better at some things? Absolutely. And I'll be the first one to admit that piece there. But fraternity social media has grown to be a network of leaders and alumni, professionals in marketing who run university accounts, which I'm still shook by that they follow me. A chancellor from a university follows me, but it's just getting our stories out there because there's so much amazing things that we're doing at the campus and national level. I just want to push young men to be creative and let them know it's okay.
It's beautiful. And I love that you're creating a community like this. This is the way that you can reach fraternities at scale. It's not just the ones that you're working for directly. Like, you are creating a whole network, and think of all the lives that you're touching just by doing that. So many great things. I mean, it was of course tragic, but a lot of creativity and great things came out of the pandemic where we all just kind of reevaluated what we were doing and what we wanted to give back to. So
One of the last things that I did before the world shut down in 2020, I was working at Michigan State University. I was in charge of the fraternity and sorority community there. We were on a spring break trip with 25 fraternity guys. And if you remember, Italy is kind of where where COVID kind of hit first.
yeah.
And then that's where the trip was going. Oh gosh, I hate the P word, pivoted, but we went to Spain, and that's one of the last things I did was that brotherhood with guys from all different fraternities at Michigan State. And I look back at those times, and it's like, no, good stuff did come from it. So I appreciate you saying that.
Yeah, and a light bulb went off. So that's really great, all the things that you're doing. So what is one takeaway for people who maybe aren't working in a fraternity or in Greek life, but at scale or, for any industry, what is a takeaway that you can share about how to build a community?
How to build a community? You have to be able to open yourself up and know that people need you, whether you might not think so. And you never know when you can make someone else's day. Because I think that we are all struggling, we are all hustling, we all have a million things going on. But when you're able to connect with someone in a cool way or open the door for them, I think that you're building community, whether that be virtually, online, or in person, whether that be with your neighbor, your local barista, where you live. That's something that's important. So create community by putting your own walls down first, honestly.
Hmm. So well said. And I think one thing that we confuse is that content always has to be educational, or there has to be this big educational takeaway. And even just sparking joy for someone, like you said, they might need you, they might be having a bad day, and just creating content just to spark joy and have a little community of people that are just, looking for an escape or for leisure, like that is powerful in itself. So no matter what it is that you want to put out there, you're going to find your audience and someone who needs it. So I think that's great inspiration. Yeah. Well, one thing I also love about marketing is that every industry needs it. And it sounds like you found your niche in Greek life. You didn't even really know it was a career. And I'm so happy it's working out for you and that you're finding other people who have made it their career. But you kind of discovered that as a student, like your path to your career really started when you were in college. So, what advice would you give to someone who's in college right now, trying to figure out their path? What should they be doing while they're in school to really set themselves up for success and make sure they're setting themselves up for a career that they want to stick with?
Oh my gosh, can I make an audio book with my answers to that question?
Yes.
Maybe that's something I'll have to do because I get questions all the time. And honestly, so many people do want to be content creators, and I get that. You need to have an educational background, whatever that might look like for you. Maybe it's trade school. You need to have a plan with what you're doing after. I spoke at a high school for their career week 2 weeks ago. Never thought in a million years I would do that, but I did.
Oh,
And I think you've got to know that people want to help you win because I never took full advantage of all the opportunities that I could have.
same.
Scholarships, mentorship, internships. People do not apply for this. If you don't have the rule book on how to make it in life, you don't think it's for you. So I said,
Mhm.
no, it is for you. So let me tell you all the mistakes I made so I can help you get that bag, get the scholarships, and make sure that you know that you also deserve to have these incredible opportunities. I could
Mhm.
have been doing internships in New York City, in LA, and places that I was like, oh, that could never be me. Now I feel
Mhm.
like I'm doing all the stuff I wanted to do at that age because I was too scared to dive in or raise my hand and say, I want to do this or how can I get this done? So I think my
Mhm.
biggest piece of advice is to put yourself out there because everyone else is also scared of not either looking cool or looking silly. So just
Mhm.
do your thing, make it happen, raise your hand, fill out the survey, I always say.
Mhm. Yeah. No, such great advice. I mean, I think back to my college experience too. And again, I guess I wanted to be cool. Like I worked at the rec center on campus and I also kind of have like a campus life background. But I worked at the rec center and we had a whole outdoor adventure program and they would do paddle boarding, they would go on trips to Hawaii and they would go rock
Yes.
climbing. And I was like, I'm not outdoorsy. I'm not gonna do these things. And it was like dirt cheap to go on these trips. I'm like, what was I doing? Why wasn't I on? Why didn't I go to Hawaii with this group and have the time of my life? It's like we're
Yeah,
just here to take advantage of what's right in front of us, especially in college. So take it from an old
exactly.
millennial like me.
Oh my gosh, and we could have done it for so much cheaper because now we wanna do those things probably. I know I do. I
Yeah.
wanna go to Hawaii with a group, and
Yeah.
it's not those prices anymore, and, like, there's
Yeah.
so many different experiences and trips, and I think we're scared because we don't know anyone. One, a
Mhm.
lot of college students are scared because they don't know anyone. Y'all,
Yes.
that's gonna be life after you graduate. The
Hmm.
small talk that you are learning in school, in your fraternities and your sororities and your organizations, you're gonna use that for the rest of your life, so start thinking about your intro now.
Yeah. And I mean, life is too short just to think small. Like I love that you brought up that you were considering all of these internships and you didn't think that could ever be you to do those internships. And I was the same way. I thought really small. I thought I had to stay local. Like I'm just going to stay where I'm comfortable. And I was reading this book the other day. It's called Put Your Ass Where Your Heart Wants to Be, by Stephen Pressfield. And it's all about like, if you want to be an actress, you got to go to LA. Like you got to be where your people are. You can't be afraid to be at the front lines of whatever your industry is. And you got to put yourself out there in that way. So I think you're inspiring a lot of people to just really grab life by the horns and go after whatever it is that they want to do.
I really
So
wish I can't say, wow, I wish I would have done it sooner because I'm where I needed to be. And that these life experiences have got me to where I am now. And now I'm able to do things I really, really want to do and not apologize for it. So it's
yeah.
been just like, let's do it. Let's go for it.
Yeah. Yeah, you had that full circle moment. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Okay, let's get a little tactical again. What is one social media's trend or strategy, something happening right now that you think is really underrated?
Ooh, I feel like there's so many underrated things because I don't like to necessarily follow trends because I like to do my own thing. I think an underrated trend is using B-roll from your phone and adding text on top of it with either tips or something fun and making it more organic. So I
Yeah.
think that we have so many things and content in our phone that you never thought could be content that you can
Hmm.
put out there with a fun fact or a cool story or some background knowledge about your business or who you are, and just
Yeah.
posting that with some music that you want. Don't focus on the trending music. What songs do you like and that you put out there? I did that with the Cardigans Love Fool, a piece of content not too long ago, and then started going big after the fact. And my goal was never for the song to go big viral. I'm just like, that's one of my all-time favorite songs. So that's one of
Hmm.
my biggest tips.
And when in doubt, just put a Britney song over it. I mean, you
There,
can't go
you're always gonna get it right.
wrong.
Like, there's so many options.
It's true, but I do love that tip about making your own B-roll. I was on a webinar yesterday and it was about how to use this software for video editing, and it was showing off how it has this great library of B-roll that you can pull from. And I was like, I'm looking at this and it all feels so, forced and stocky. I'm like, this is not real. This is a great tool to offer and a great little library you have here, but it's not really fitting the vibe I'm going for. So you're so right that you can make your own content that way and make your own B-roll. It's a great tip.
Can part two, if we ever do another episode, can it be about stock footage? Because y'all, your audience knows. If it's
Yeah.
stock footage or photos or video, your audience knows. Just like anytime that there's a crying or laughing baby in movies and TVs, they use the same sound and
Same
it's the
sound.
same
Wait,
exact
can
one.
we talk about that? You might remember this since we're the same person, but that crying baby sound is the same one that AOL had back in the day that you could set as your little sign-on sound.
Yep. Yep.
I think it's like the cat like the
Yep.
cat
Yes.
meowing. It's from AOL also. I think of my
Exactly. Like,
screen name on my buddy list every time I hear it.
oh, that's so funny. And that's why I'm like, when it comes to like stock video and photos, I'm like, y'all, your audience is not dumb. They know. They
Yeah.
know that these aren't real people.
Yeah. And they don't want it to be, it looks more polished, but you don't have to be polished with everything. Like you can keep it
No.
scrappy. It's really what people want is that authentic, scrappy content. So it's
Yeah.
all in the power of of your phones in the palm of your hand. So that's awesome. All right, let's start wrapping up here. I want to give you a late happy birthday. You celebrated your birthday recently.
Thank
Um,
you.
and I love what you did on LinkedIn. You asked people for your birthday to share a professional development tip or a book or podcast resource, something to help you in your career. So now I know that you are a treasure trove of professional development and you've helped so many young men and students and people just around the world with their own professional development. So, big or small, what is one professional development resource that we should know about or tip or
Uh,
if you want to share?
Absolutely. Like, I'm someone who works from home, so I always say, what are the local places where you can connect with fellow creatives? And you go
Mhm.
there. That's where I was this morning. Um, Went there super early to I did Creative Morning Chicago, and I just met with so many different creatives. I think that's something that is super helpful. And I just got to listen from other people because I don't know everything and I never will, but I want to connect with people who know things that I don't know so I can be stronger. So that's like
Mhm.
professional development 101 for me right there.
Yeah. So you think there's a big difference in just connecting with people virtually versus getting up and going? And yeah, let's talk about
Yes.
that. What would you
I
say?
need to
Yeah.
virtually it's really hard to connect with like a big group of people or others because your camera's off, you're doing other things. I want
Mhm.
to get ready, I want to get up, I want to think about my outfit, I want to play Charlie's Brat album as I'm getting ready and hype myself up and be like, oh, I'm going to meet new people, we'll see what this looks like and happens. I want to get the fit together and I want to physically go to another space. And usually a lot of these events, they take place in different city on different parts of the city every time, and it
Mhm.
just gets my mindset in a different space that I've never been in, and I think about what creativity has gone on there, what's been created there, and it's like, how do I vibe that with what I'm doing so I can create more and different things myself? So being in that personal experience is so cool because I even will look at what people are writing with, what they're writing on, what they're not using, what they're wearing. Like, it
Mhm.
fills me up with so much cool energy.
Yeah, it's kind of incorporating all of your senses. And I've found that when you go and do something in person, you also reflect on it more, like that drive home, like things really just stick versus, you're on a Zoom, you shut it off, then you're in the kitchen making a sandwich and it's just
Yeah.
it's business as usual. Like the information and the experience doesn't stick as much. So, I love that. I've got to get out of my own little bubble here. So I appreciate that tip as well.
It's difficult for people. It is so difficult for people, and I get it because it can be very scary.
Hmm.
And I get that question a lot from, friends or people I engage with on social media, followers. How do you do it? And I'm just like, I just go. I
Yeah.
just go, and you have to go with like I said, what I said earlier. You just got to kind of just set that ego aside and be vulnerable. And it's really hard to do that in person. So I completely understand.
Not when your fit is as fresh as yours, though. So
Hey, I get fashion ideas when I go to these because I'm like, I love thrifting. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna put that together later for me.
that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, again, I'm gonna go look up some of my own events and things that I can start going to around here because I gotta get out of this room. But speaking of connecting with other people, who are you looking to connect with right now? And we know where people can find you. We've heard the handle, but what types of connections are you hoping to make at this point?
Oh, absolutely. Types of connections I'm hoping to make. I would love to connect with more fraternities and their events, local chapters. I would love to connect with more creatives in Chicago because, like I said, I need that personal space. I want to connect with people who know how to run and put together podcasts and websites. I feel like I have a following, I have ideas, but I've got to start advocating for myself because I've been very fortunate to look out for other people, and I've got to start doing that for myself as well.
Mhm.
I want to create and connect with more people in the entertainment industry as well. My three pillars for myself are one, fraternity and sorority, two, it's going to be travel, and three, it's pop culture. So whenever I can connect with people in any of those facets, I'm starting to do that now. I'm seeing
Yeah.
incredible results. And I want to see people who look like me in different spaces because I wasn't seeing that. So I said, all right, it's going to be me and I'm going to do it. So
Mhm.
let me connect with other
Gonna
creatives as
bang
well who are
bang.
doing this. Yes, exactly, exactly.
That's great. I love that you're putting yourself out there, and I think you have a podcast in you at some point too. Maybe a podcast idea.
Can
We'll have to
can we
explore that.
manifest it, everyone? Like, please. I've been thinking about it for years. I have all these ideas, and I just got to do it. So how about I take my own advice here, right?
Yeah, we're gonna talk. We're gonna cut this recording, and I will be sharing the link to your podcast in the future, Guillermo. This was so much fun. I'm so glad we made this happen, and I think you're a natural. So we got to
Oh
get
my
your
God.
podcast out in the world.
Thank you so much. This has been such an incredible experience, and to like be on a podcast and with someone I completely admire, and I'm like, wait, I'm on here. This is you got to pinch me later. I'm not sure if this is real,
Oh my
but
gosh, you
we'll
are
we'll
too
ma- we'll, we'll make it work. We'll make it
you
work, and
are
we'll
too
see.
sweet. Like I said, everyone listening, I this is my first podcast with a guest since having a baby, and I'm a little rusty. So it's great that you've inspired me to get back behind this mic, and I just had such a fun time chatting. So thank you.
Likewise.